Rugby Trophy in Portugal coming up in May. So they will be playing a 2-game qualifying series against USA U20 coming up here on Vancouver Island. That's going to be a great contest. March 23rd will be right here at Shawnigan Lake School, and then a few days later on the Friday night down at the Canadian Rugby Centre of Excellence in West Hills Stadium. And Gareth, how important is making sure our Canadian team qualifies for that competition?
Well, hugely important. That is where we're judged on the world stage. As you said, the Junior World Trophy. Last year we bowed out and have to qualify. The U.S., a very strong team, in fact, won the tournament 2 years ago. But this is a very important match here today. The Romanians, a stiff test. They've traveled, they're preparing. But will be a very physical contest for the Canadian players who have been in camp here since Friday. And selection is looming, Brian, right now for some of these players as to whether or not they'll get the opportunity to play against the USA.
And Gareth, a lot of these players will be making their debut for the national program, and also making their debut today for the national program is the coaching staff. Gareth, walk us through who's at the helm this year.
Yeah, as you said, the players will have that red jersey on, and that's a very special moment, whether it's in under 20s or a senior level, and great to see. They're fortunate enough to be guided by, well, 3 gentlemen who have worn that red jersey in international matches. Jeff Williams, the newly appointed head coach, a teacher up here at Shawnigan Lake School, who has a great knowledge of back play and is a really modern thinker. He's joined by Kenny Goodland, who was a 7s and 15s international, also hailing from St. John's, Newfoundland. He's come on to work with Rugby Canada and the development side of things, so he's worked with this group. And the manager, of course, is Jim Delaney, ex-international, based in Ontario. So a nice rounding for these players and lots of good support for them, but it's really about performance now on the field.
We are moments away from the players stepping out on the field. Now let me take you through the starting roster for the Romanian under-19 side. Number 1, Marius Lungu. Number 2, Ovidiu Cojacado. Number 3, Ciprian Lukac. At 4, Octavian Popa. 5, Alexander Kozma. 6, Alin Gerasim. 7, George Tatarus. 8, Adrian Motok. 9 is the captain at scrum half, George Croitoro. 10, Ionel Melinte. 11 is Marian Lupu. 12, Vladut Popa. 13, Raul Paxaman. 14, Ionut Balaban. And 15, Alexander Padurianu. And for the Canadian side, coming out momentarily, Brendan Blakey, John Shaw at hooker. Number 3, Matt Tierney, Paul Cialini at 4. Number 5, Adrian Wadden. 6, Alex Colborne. 7 is Ollie Knott. He's captain. And number 8 is Luke Bradley. Number 9, Dan Joyce. 10, Giuseppe Dutoit. 11, Tim Hart. Mitch Santilli is at 12. Number 13 is Andrew Coe. 14, Karsten Leitner. And number 15 is Owen Brumble. As you can see, Romania in their famous yellow and blue kit storming out on the field.
Well, a very proud rugby nation, the Oaks as they're known, and they're built like oak trees. They're strong, they're powerful, and they're really uncompromising. And I've had the fortune to play against them in World Cups, and I've also had the team over there the last couple of years and seen our under-17s and under-18s take them on. And if they're nothing else, they're incredibly proud and uncompromising. So this will be a good test for the Canadian boys.
And the home side, led by their captain, Ollie Knott, the Qualicum BC UVic Vikes product, stepping out on the field in that fantastic black and red Under Armour with the white numbers. And these boys getting a very welcome applause from the fans here at Shawnigan Lake School, proud partners of Rugby Canada, bringing you all 4 of these games during the Under-20 March series. And this should be a fantastic month of Under-20 rugby here on Vancouver Island. As we get set for the national anthems.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise, remove your hats, and join us in the playing of the Romanian and Canadian national anthems.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Two proud national anthems and two great rugby nations about to step up. Gareth, a bit of a preview of what to expect in October over in the UK?
That didn't take long, Brian. Of course, Romania in Canada's World Cup pool for the senior men, the last game of the pools. So I don't know if this will be a precursor, but as I said, they are a very accomplished rugby nation. If you're not aware of Romanian rugby, we'll talk about it a bit later in the broadcast, but they have serious programs over there, and these athletes are all heading towards professional rugby. There's no question about that.
So we are just moments away from kickoff. Want to thank everyone for tuning in to today's live stream. Please let us know where you're watching today's game using the @RugbyCanada symbol on Twitter. Should be a great game, and I know people are watching all around the world here today. And I think it's probably in the middle of the night back in Romania, but I'm sure some fans are up tuning in for their friends and family.
Yeah, talking to Coach Asinte before, he knew it was online, and some of the friends and family welcome from wherever you are in Romania.
Referee Smorchevsky signals us underway with a low kick coming in to Canadian territory. Taken well there by Wadden just outside the 22. Watch the scrum half here, Dan Joyce. Very skilled player. Good burst of speed right up the gut for the Canadians on the first territory. Now Joyce out wide to Detroit. Santilli brushes off one defender, powers over the winger. Nearing the center line on that far touch line. Good counter rucking coming from Romania. Looks to have stolen this ball.
Referee Smorchevsky's blown up there. He's going to have it put in for Canada. He says a knock on yellow. Referee David Smorchevsky, one of Canada's most experienced men in the middle. Mentioned in the intro, just he does have a Romanian father, which is fascinating for him, but he's done great service for Canada and has actually refereed in Bucharest as part of the Nations Cup, so he'll be no stranger to Romanian players.
Romania well known for having a strong forward pack at all levels of the game, and we'll see what they can do here with their first defensive scrum. Canadian put in just inside the halfway line here.
Fairly steady. Canadian prop gone down on one knee, but back up, so good possession for Canada.
Taken well there by Tim Hart, the blind winger on that far side. The man from Fall River, Nova Scotia. Running it up hard into contact there is Colborne, Canada. Over the halfway line now. Detroit going to the boot. He's elected to hit touch, but we will bring this one back as that one sails out on the full.
Hey, Giuseppe Detroit there. Just a very good start from him. His first two touches, putting players into space, choosing to put the boot on that one, just overcooking it. But of course, a player with some experience, senior men's level, playing in the America's Rugby Championship, and very bright hopes for this young fly half.
Great shot here of Ovidio Cojucado with the first line out. That ball is spilled forward off of Romania, so Canada with an opportunity. Ducking under the tackle there is John Shaw, the Ottawa, Ontario native. Canada with possession. Detroit spinning it on a hard line. That's Andrew Coe. Great offload to his winger. That was Leitner. Romania have poached this ball, though, so Canada's defense will have to get organized here. Romania's got a few numbers on this open side, but Canada gets back in defense. Penalty awarded to Romania.
Canada not rolling away at the tackle. I think it may have been scrum half Dan Joyce, just caught in an awkward position, and referee Smorchevsky penalizing him for not moving away after the tackle was formed. So two early poaches for the Romanians, and they will be adept on the ground, and it'll be something that the 20 players, the Canada 20 players, will have to get up to speed on.
Raul Paxaman electing to hit touch, so good attacking position here for the Romanians at Canada's 22-meter line.
Canada probably having a size advantage, Brian, in terms of mass of body, but Romanians have a couple of tall units there in the middle of this lineup. We'll see them as that's Popa and Cosma in the middle, and there is clean lineout ball.
Well taken from the back jumper. Good pop from the scrum half. Driving it up into contact there is Lungu. They're electing to go blind here. Canada will have to reset their defense. Just shoveling the ball through the hands, taken into contact there by Malente. Romania is still with possession inside the 22, taken up now by Tatarus. They're resetting this blind side. Looks like they're just playing a basic pattern. Just a lot of off-9 ball, but a good tackle coming in from the Canadian defense. Electing to go to the boot, and a chase is on. bobbled out the back. Can Romania get a hand on it?
The flag has gone up from the far side touch judge saying the ball was in goal. So Canada has dodged a bullet here, I believe. They have. As the Romanian player lunged for it, he couldn't get downward pressure on it. So Canada will go quickly. Overcook the dropout again.
So that was an interesting play there by Canada. They had a 3 or 4 man overlap off the restart, but the ball went just a little bit too far. Luckily, they could wrap up the defender and take him out into touch.
But a bad mistake there from Canada on the previous play. The ball was put through. No sweeper, no fullback covering across. So Romania had a shot at touching it down, but didn't quite get there.
First line out of the game for Canada coming in from the Bytown Blues product. John Shaw played against Edinburgh with the Ontario Blues of the CRC team earlier last year. Dutoit going himself, gets past one defender, gets taken down by Malente. Canada without their number 10 here.
And that's a penalty against the Canadians for coming in the side of the ruck. Interesting. There seemed to be lots of support there, so Tomaszewski taking exception to what the Canadians are doing on the ground. And looks like they've signaled they will have a shot at goal. So first points on offer just inside 40 meters for the Romanians. Brian, Giuseppe Dutoit did well there, the fly off. It was slower ball. He took it up into contact and tried to reset things rather than force a pass out wide. But the support infringing at the breakdown. This will be the center, Baksaman. So I'm warming up, very strong boot on him, but this is as close to a test match as these lads will get, so a lot of pressure here as well. Pretty much straight in front, 38 meters out. He's hit it well. The flag stay down, he's just pulled it left. So Canada dodging the bullet again. I know there were some nerves in the warm-up. Jeff Williams and just felt the team was a little bit anxious. Obviously, these boys have been training and been looking forward to this, especially those in Eastern Canada, dying to get out and play some rugby. So here's their opportunity. Romania moving into the midfield. And that's Padura now. He chooses to kick. Good communication from the back. Canada returning the favor.
That was
through
Owen Brumble with the kick. So this will do well if it can get out, but it stays in. So an opportunity for Romania to get a little bit of distance here. And that kick was coming in from Paksaman and from the outside center position.
So good play from the Canadians. They won that kicking battle. They have attacking possession, 40 meters out.
Good shot of the line out here. Canada electing to go to the front. That's won there by Adrian Watern, the Oakville Crusaders product. Ball picked up clean there off the deck from Dutoit. Need to get to ground, and they finally do, just inside the 40 meter. Taken forward now by the flanker, Ollie Knott. Dutoit steps, goes himself, gets taken down by 2 Romanian defenders. Nearing this touchline here.
Better support this time from the Canadians at the ruck.
Good running from the captain, Knott. Need to recycle this ball. They're electing to go to the blind side. Once again, big hit there from Matt Tierney, Oakville, Ontario product. Running it up. Colborne, originally from Bristol, England. Dutoit, shooter in defense, electing to go to Andrew Coe. Coe gets wrapped up hard there by Lukacs. Bit of a mismatch in size. Now Brendan Blecky throws it out wide to Tim Hart.
And the arm's gone out. Penalty against the Romanians, offside at the breakdown. So Canada putting some phases together, Brian, but not really moving on to that ball. Very static, the first receiver. And they're allowing the Romanians to get off the line and put pressure on them.
Interesting choice here for Canada of a 40 meters out, about 20 meters in from the sideline, electing to go for points here. And they must have a lot of confidence in Dutoit.
Yeah, I've been watching this young man for many years from Maple Ridge, British Columbia. His father, obviously, a big part of the program. And South African heritage, family of brothers that are very keen on their rugby. And I think this is definitely within his range. Almost throughout the game, we're hearing instructions in Romanian from the coach, who's at the halfway line just below your cameras here. And here's Dutoit lining it up with his right foot. Clean strike. It's long enough, but he's pulled it also. So similar to the Romanian.
So a missed opportunity here for Canada, and we will have a 22 dropout for Romania. This is, of course, the first time this Canadian U20 side has had a chance to play since getting together early on about a week ago. As we have the restart coming just over the halfway line, taken by Brumble. He finds Coe with a bit of space. Taken well there by Santilli, gets past one player, tries to offload back inside, but it's bobbled by Tim Hart. That would have been a good break, but just couldn't quite hold on to it.
Yeah, Coe did well there. He did his job, attracted the defenders, and then put Joyce into space. But that ball not going to hand. Canada guilty of perhaps trying that extra offload. So it's still air here. There's no wind to speak of, and not a huge crowd out at Shawnigan. Of course, the school is out on half-term break. So a little bit of quiet here.
10 minutes gone in this first half. Still waiting for the first points. Both sides missing one penalty attempt as we have a Romanian scrum. And because this is an under-19 side, we're playing under-19 rules, Gareth.
Yeah, so obviously at scrum time, that means only a 1.5 meter push. And anything wheeled like that will be reset with the team keeping possession. And if, of course, we did get a sin bin, at some point there would be matched up number to number in the scrum. So under 19 scrum law is in effect here. Criatoro, the captain, to put the ball in. I wonder if he has a look at the line side, or he's going to take a feed from the number 8. And it's well knocked down by Canada. Good pressure from the base of the scrum. Knocked on by Romania, scrum down Canada ball. So great attacking opportunity here. Time for the Canadian backs to bring it.
And they've got such explosive power through the Canadian backline, right starting from Dan Joyce and connecting with Dutoit. And then you've got Santilli and Coe from in the centers. Both those players have Maple Leaf Sevens experience in the Canadian development, as well as Coe played last year on the America's Rugby Championship side for Canada A. So lots of experience in this Canada U20 side. We'll see if they can get something going here. Now Joyce to Dutoit, pops back inside. Santilli, he breaks the gain line. Good forward ball. Now Joyce to Dutoit. He's got back inside. Elects to go himself. Wrapped up there by Popa. Back in. Good show and go by Colborne.
Well recycled by Colborne, keeping it alive. There's an overlap.
Santilli taking it with speed, getting through one player, dodging through another, still on his feet. Great power there from the Ontario back. They need to recycle this ball quickly, though. Joyce trying to get it out. Taking it well there is not. Still getting go forward ball here. And a penalty is awarded, not rolling away.
Yeah, the Romanian thought he had his hands on it, but then was guilty of hanging around the ball. So much better intensity, exactly what's required from Canada. They upped the tempo a little bit there, Brian, and a good half break from Chantilly.
So this one a little bit easier for Dutoit, right in front of the sticks, about 18, 20 meters out. Could have our first points of the match here.
Yeah, definitely a bit more spark in the attack there from the Canadians. And Colborne it was with the good offload out of the tackle. Didn't allow the Romanians to get set in defense, and that's where Santilli was able to run through the hole. Another miss from Dutoit. That's a bad one. He's pulled it left again, so he'll want to correct that. It will be a long day against the Romanians. If you can't punish them for their infringements at the breakdown, it will be a long day up front because they will consistently slow the ball down. Dutoit needs to mentally bounce back from that because he'll make those 9 out of 10. Long kickoff for Romania. Being gathered by Ollie Knott, the skipper.
Working down this blind side. Player has to release in the tackle. Joyce having a bit of difficulty and driving in from the side penalty. Taken quickly there by Joyce. Nowhere near 10 meters back. And the referee Smarchevsky blowing it down right away. The Romanian player there was about 3 meters back.
Yeah, the initial penalty against Lukacs for coming up the side of the ruck. And as you see there, not 10 meters. So good awareness by Joyce, keeping them under pressure. An interesting discussion between the captain and the fly half there. Are we going to have a shot at goal or not? And this is always tough, Brian, and they are going to go to the side, and this is one he may normally take on, but having missed two, I wonder if the captain said, let's just stick it in the corner and put pressure on him with the line out.
Great kick coming in from Detroit, landing about 8 meters out now, so great attacking position for the Canadians. Looking to cross the whitewash for the first time here. John Shaw with the line-out throw. Going to the middle jumper, but it's stolen clean there by Kozma, the number 5 for this Romanian side. They're still deep in their own territory, though. Likely have a kick here from the fly half. So, missed opportunity here for Canada.
No question, excellent defensive work from Kozma and his team, securing possession, clearing the line. And at international level, especially when you've got a big qualifier coming up, those are the things that the team will have to set straight. They've got to execute basic line-out possession 10 meters from the line. Some new combinations here, of course, Brian. They haven't played together, but time to sort them out.
So another missed line-out that's picked up off the back by Gerasim, the flanker for Romania. So Canada missing 2 back-to-back line-outs, but I think we have a knock-on, so it'll be a Canadian ball once again.
Yeah, the scrum half it was. Criatoro couldn't quite gather that. Spilled it. And as you said, John Shaw, well, I don't know if it was an overthrow or if the pod was up a bit late at the back. But these are the things that they'll want to work on. Big scrum here. The scrum has been very solid for Canada so far, and we'll have a nice tight look on this one. And some communication there from Swarchevsky to the Romanian players. And here's Dan Joyce to put in. The Canadian backfield split with the fullback to the bottom of your screen. Bromble and Dutoit to the top of your screen. So options both sides for Canada.
If you're just joining us, we are about 16 minutes gone here in the first half. Still 0-0 between these two sides. Just sort of feeling each other out early on, and a couple of good breaks coming from the Canadian side, but not being able to convert any points as this scrum goes down. Penalty to Canada.
Referee immediately calling Romania for dropping it down. First reset scrum we've seen, so perhaps a bit harsh, but it will give Dutoit the opportunity from straight in front again. On his first attempt, he had more than enough distance. So really his focus needs to be line. Just relax and just stroke the ball as he was doing in warm-up. But these are the tough ones when you haven't made the last two. That's when you earn your money. As we mentioned, good conditions, still air.
Dutoit well struck, and it is through. So the first points of the game coming from Dutoit, who is familiar with this field, having graduated here as a Shawnigan Lake player. So finally finding the mark, and it's 3-0 Canada U20 over Romania U19, about 18 minutes gone.
And Brian, I can't say enough for the character there. The weight is on your shoulders. You've missed 2 for your team already, and Dutoit stepped up and sorted it out. So Canada getting the reward they needed after another Romanian infringement. Well taken by Shaw. Offload, good driving legs. Romanian still hanging around, but finally cleaned out. Toit going short again to his captain, Ollie Knott. Penalty coming in against Romania.
So after a couple of early penalties against Canada, we've seen the hand going the favor of Canada so far. A couple of penalties against Romania here.
It's actually more than a couple, Brian. That's 6 in a row. Another one for offside in the midfield. So referee Swanchevsky trying to lay out his stall, if you will. Keep those Romanians on side so we can have some flowing rugby out wide.
Good
Much
win.
better.
Great win from Canada. Toss from John Shaw. Detroit couldn't quite get that ball out of the hand fast enough, and that's bobbled down from Romania. Referee says play on. It went backwards. Good job on the far side of the field there by Tim Hart to stay on his feet and gain some ground. Running it up now is Cellini. Ball going to the ground. Sloppy pass from Canada, but it's booted forward.
Referee's going to come back for another penalty, and he may be having a chat with the skipper. As we said, that'll be the 7th penalty in a row. Time is off here. He's going to have a chat. He's doing his best to communicate with fingers and hands to say that's too many times offside. Canada very lucky though, Brian, not dealing with the spill ball on 2 occasions, not falling on it, not securing possession. And Carson Leitner did very well on the far side to gather and make a bit of a run, but again the service from Joyce was behind the receiver.
Carson Leitner among 8 players on this Canadian team that played in Romania 2 years ago on their U18 tour. As Canada lose another line out, and Detroit is forced to make a tackle just shy of the 40-meter line here. Spun out wide by Croitoro. Trying to get around the outside, but good defense from the Canadian side. And a penalty is awarded to Canada, not releasing, and electing to go quickly there is Andrew Coe. And once again, Romania not back 10 meters. And we could have some extra yards pushed forward.
Yeah, I think he wasn't through the mark, so the referee will bring it back. It was the first carry from the Romanian fly half Melinte, but he did get isolated. And again, the penalty going against Romania for not releasing at the tackle. So Detroit signals one more time. He's going to have a shot. This is test match rugby, Brian. They're not here to to fill the stands. They're here to win matches and be ruthless.
I was also talking with Kenny Goodland, assistant coach of this side, earlier today, and he said that they have about 29 players in camp right now, with a few other players looking to come back from injuries. And they have to get it down to 28 players by the time the USA Aggregate Series starts. So this is also a selection game as well. A lot of these guys have to put their hand up and say, look, I'm the best in my position. I can help us qualify for the World Trophy and get us there and be successful once they get to Portugal. So a lot of these guys are trying to impress the coaching staff. As Detroit, well struck once again. He has the distance, and it is through. Great kick there from Giuseppe Detroit, and Canada with a 6-0 lead here.
10, Giuseppe Dutoit, Canada 6, Romania 0.
Excellent kick, keeps the scoreboard moving. And as you said, Brian, one of the challenges is you want to impress as an individual to make that squad and to go on to the Junior World Trophy, but you have to perform as a team here.
High hanging kick taken well there by Adrian Wadden, the Mississauga, Ontario player. Joyce popping it to Bradley. He breaks the gain line. Now Joyce. Detroit again spins it out to Coe. Coe's got numbers outside of him. Pass out to Santilli. He's got one man to beat, gets around the outside. He's got a bit ahead of steam here. Offloads back inside, but it's bobbled by Canada. Referee allowing it to play on here and just finally taken out in a touch. So good pace from Canada.
Yeah, right option from Santilli, but poor execution. He made a good break. He challenged the defender, and then the one-handed infield pass was found wanting. Didn't go to hand. That would have been a try. But good intensity and good passing from Canada to lead those midfield players out of attack.
Mitch Santilli, great pace from the inside center position. He was one of the players that also played in Edinburgh last year. Good opportunity for the CRC Ontario Blues. Play against a professional side over in Scotland.
Yeah, Brantford Harlequins produced some fine players over the years, and Santilli looking to be the next. And I've been very impressed with him. He's got a great balanced runner, very great in attack, and some of the questions maybe are on defense, and this will be a good test for him today.
So the referee has stopped the play here for a moment. Looks like one of the Romanian players is down at the moment. Gareth, while we have a moment, a break in the action, so to speak, explain a little bit the big announcement recently.
Well, right now it's a very exciting times for Rugby Canada with the men's sevens tournament. So we already had the women's sevens tournament for Langford as part of the World Series. Canada Sevens u20.com at April 18th and 19th. But just a week ago, we were able to announce coming in 2016 into BC Place in Vancouver, there will be a stop on the World 7 Series. So we're absolutely delighted. The whole world, 16 nations coming to Vancouver. And it should be a great festival and great party and great opportunity for our national sevens team to taste victory on the world stage.
And we're back on the attack. That ball was spilled forward from Romania, but I don't think the referee saw it. So play on. Up into contact there from Cojacado. And a penalty, not rolling away against Canada.
The tackle area has been fairly sloppy with lots of penalties being handled out. That time Canada not moving. The tackler can make the tackle, but then has to move away and allow the player to present the ball. An outstanding kick there from the center, Paxaman. Beautiful strike, getting them well into Canada's territory.
So we're about 23 minutes gone in this first half. Canada leading 6-0 with points off the boot of Giuseppe Dutoit. Romania back in Canadian territory now. We'll have a line out on the far side of the field.
Late throw in there as Popa went up and seemed to be clear but didn't get the ball, so Canada's stolen it.
Joyce finding the blind winger there, Tim Hart. Now, lots of room to move on this blind side. Picked up there.
Oh, unlucky. As Dan Joyce had recognized there was space there, trying to get the ball over the top, but couldn't get it to hand. And that one went forward before Leitner could gather. Again, we will have under 19 laws on the scrum, so let's see if Canada can put some pressure on here and just at least disrupt at the base. Obviously, they can't push more than 1.5 meters. Romanian put in. That's Criatoro. It's at the back, and number 8's had a dart. Motok wrapped up quickly. Romania coming back infield through Cochado.
So Romania with possession, working down the blind side. They've got numbers here. Good tackle there from Colborne, who's going to school at Queen's University. Still getting good go-forward ball, just nearing the 22. But a penalty awarded to Canada.
And you saw there Alex Colborne trying to get the ball for a quick tap. The Romanian taking exception. And Romania penalized for up the side of the ruck again. And you see the Romanian player down the left of your shot. On the far side, Michael Jones, the man from PEI originally, did a great job refereeing at the National University Sevens on the weekend. Now in Vancouver doing his PhD and at SFU. A lot of good young referees around. These are good opportunities for them as well.
So the referee speaking with the Romanian side on the far, nearing the far touch line.
Shrug of the shoulders. Doesn't matter what language you're speaking. So I think he got his point across. I'm not quite sure.
And now Dutoit will elect to hit touch here, trying to get some ground. And that ball is well kicked. Beautiful strike. And that'll get just inside Romanian half.
So far, Brian, a fairly static tempo to the game after 20 minutes. I think it would probably favor Canada at this point to pick things up. They seem to have a backfield that's making some inroads. And they want to up the tempo of the game a little bit.
So another line-out loss for Canada. That's something that will need to be worked on by the forwards for the second half and the rest of the March series. As Romania bringing it up into the centers, that ball is spilled backwards. Picking it up is Gerasiam. We've got numbers on both sides of the field here, electing to go to the right side. Up into contact there from Kozma, but a penalty awarded to Romania. Offside is the call from David Smorchevsky.
He's pulling out number 8 for Canada, Luke Bradley. It was a bit quick as Romania did have possession. I thought he could have let them go, but another penalty and more territory for Romania. Some Romania's side and at the senior men's side as well, relatively comfortable playing a set piece game. That is kicking to touch, having lineouts, having scrums, and building off that. I think Canada really should be looking to use their athleticism here and trying to speed the game up a little bit. And Romania here going to reduce numbers in the lineout. 5-man lineout. It's well executed through Kozma.
Working down the blind side once again, wrapping up from the Canadian players. Need to be strong in defense against these big players, and a big hit coming up from the middle there, taken hard by Vladut Popa. Hard line coming in, pop back inside ball. Good running here from the winger, Marian Lupu.
The ball was forward, but the touch judge missed it, so play on to the referee.
Up into contact now is Ovidio Cojacado. Numbers on this blind side if they use it. Good tackle from Detroit, keeping his man up. Trying to keep this up as long as possible.
Detroit's got his hands on the ball there, 10 black. He has to release now as it's on the ground.
Fantastic play there by Dutoit, keeping his man up, getting a bit of help from some of the other backs and a couple of the flankers. And steal of possession for Canada, so it'll be a scrum just outside their own 22.
He wants it. That's good to see. He gets up, having done the defensive works, then saying, my ball, my ball. He wants to get this thing going. Scrum will be reset here. Again, this is Romania controlling the tempo. The Canadians ready to go, and if I was the captain, Ollie Knott, I want to have a word and try and speed things up.
So Canada need to get out of their own half here. Still up 6-0 from those earlier penalties from Detroit. Into Santilli, runs into a big hit there from the outside center. That's Paxaman. And a penalty awarded to Romania, not releasing. As you can see, these Romanian players are excited about the big tackle.
As they should be, and Papa was in there as well. A big tackle. They turned the Canadian, and he wasn't able to get it back. Santilli just not preparing himself for that tackle. And this will give Romania a chance to take the goose egg off the board. Romanian coach delighted with that defensive presence. Paxaman will have the shot. Not dissimilar to the one he's previously missed. Yeah, that big defensive play has brought some life to this Romanian team. The support being yelled out in Romanian across the field. Paxaman to kick.
Chip shot coming in from Paxaman, and it is good. So Romania on the board here, getting it to 6-3. Now Canada U20 over Romania U19.
Steep learning curve there for Santilli. Just got to get set up. You know, at this level, you're not going to have your own way. So that will be a good learning point when the video is watched. 3 points to Romania. Now this is when Canada needs a spark. They need someone to step up with a big hit or steal the ball in the air. Nice high hanging kick from Detroit. But Romania gather. Referee asking Canada to roll away. The offload, outstanding tackle from Colburn. Referee calling another penalty around the outside of the ruck. Coming in the wrong side, I suppose, but what a hit from Colburn.
Bit of ill discipline from both these teams here, as the referee is giving out a lot of penalties in this first half.
Well, we know Paxaman can kick, and he's done it again.
Romania not exactly playing rushed offense here, walking slowly up to the spot for the line out.
Yeah, that's the tactic. They're in control here. See, as they arrive, they can put their pod where they want, and Canada then has to decide where to defend. Quick fake at the front, and then a weak throw means Canada can steal it.
Referee blowing it down, bringing it back, a knock on to Canada. So we'll have a Romania ball just inside Canadian territory. So bit of sloppy play from both these sides, Gareth. Opportunity for lots of improvement here in the second half as we're about 30 minutes in.
I have to say, some of these Canadian players just don't look on their game. They're not quick to gather the ball. Perhaps because they've been out east, they haven't quite had as many touches as they'd like, but they're going to need to improve this effort and bring a bit more intensity.
Good scrum here from Romania. Into the centers now. Good hard line of running coming in from Vladut Popa. Gaining lots of ground here in the scrum half. Just putting the boots to the Canadian player right in front of the ref. And penalty going to Romania. So that's an interesting call there, Gareth.
Yeah, Andrew Crow is there, and he thought he had rights. He had his hands on the ball. The referee's looking straight at him. And the referee's saying the ruck was formed. His body's over the ball, so he can't pick the ball up. Hopefully he's communicating that, and Coe needs to let go and just release possession and keep defending.
So once again, Paxman trusting his boot and electing to go for points here, about 42, 43 meters out. And this is difficult for the Canadian side, trying to maintain some possession and string some phases together, but having a bit of difficulty here, and too many penalties going against both sides.
As you mentioned, Brian, Canada and Romania developing quite a relationship. The Canada's under-18 team under the guidance of Jim Delaney has been to Romania in the last 2 years, and the national seniors team has been over there. So this is the juniors' second time back here, so good to see. Right now it's Paxman.
Has the distance. Is it through? And yes, it is. So we are level at 6 apiece as Raul Paxman adds another penalty kick. So lots of work still to be done here for this young Canadian side.
Romania clawing their way back in the second third of this half. Again, Dutoit hanging it beautifully right over the 10-meter line.
Beautiful take there from Adrian Wadden, and Canada back on the attack. Dutoit up forward there for Colborne. Need to recycle this ball, not quite getting quickly enough. Deciding to go himself.
Joyce was looking for a runner and no one came off him.
Pick and go. Needs some support. Good rucking here from the Canadians. Dutoit. There's a shooter on defense. Tries to break through the line, and he does. Inside the 40-meter now.
The Canadians wanted that to go wide. You could hear the calls coming in.
Trying to reorganize their offense. Picked from the base of the scrum there by Alex Colborne. Quickly. Hart. And a hard-taken ball there by Wadden. Joyce to Dutoit. He's got numbers outside. Cutting back. That's Tim Hart.
Hart does well to keep his feet.
Some good phases here from Canada. Spun out. Blakey. Ball is spilled and knocked on. So we will have another ball for Romania. So Gareth, a couple of good phases, but not able to capitalize.
No, you got to credit the Romanians there. Stiff defense, coming up quickly off the line, and Canada not able to get around it or get through it. I wonder if Canada's playing into their hands a little bit with those one-out runners, a little bit static. These slightly younger Romanian players definitely found their feet now here in the middle of this first half.
Rugby Canada would like to thank our title sponsor for this March series, Shawnigan Lake School. Been such a fantastic partner and supporter of Canadian rugby for years now, supporting all of our national programs.
Great tackle from Joyce. Sorry, Brian.
Beautiful tackle there from the Dublin, Ireland product, who's got citizenship through Canada through his grandmother. as Romania just inside their own 40-meter line. Penalty awarded to Canada as not releasing in the tackle.
Well, you saw that well-timed attack from Joyce. He saw the number 8 picking up. He dove in at his ankles. Really committed there. I've been very impressed with him so far. He looks very comfortable on the ball. And that will give Detroit another opportunity. And you saw when the penalty call went Canada's way, there's a bit more energy, a bit more enthusiasm.
So Detroit, another opportunity to take the lead here for Canada. Score 6 all. This one's about 37 meters out. It's definitely within his range. Hits it hard, but it is pushed right. So leaving some points on the field, not being able to capitalize once again. So score remains 6 all.
Never a good sign, Brian, when the tee goes as far as the ball. He just got under that one. So Canada not able to punish. Romania kicking long. Fielded by the captain. And the long kick from Bromble, gathered by Romania. They're looking to attack midfield, but they kick back with a high one. Off his feet was Coe. Not able to hold on. Good aggression from him. He attacked the ball. Just didn't turn his shoulders in time to gather that one.
So nearing the end of this first half, both sides playing a little bit sloppy. Too many penalties in this first frame. As you can see on the replay here, high kick coming in from the Romanian side.
This is good to see. Andrew Coe gets up, he attacks the ball, but he needs to turn that shoulder and present his one of his hips to the opposition so he can gather that. And if he doesn't catch it, Brian, then it goes backwards, and it's a play-on situation. And the Romanian prop having a rest or injured. What do you think, Brian? Lungi getting the ice pack on the neck.
I think this just could be a little bit of exhaustion.
I think they call it game management sometimes, just controlling things to their tempo. Smorchevsky's keeping an eye on him. Oh, I'm ready to go, ref.
Yeah.
There we are.
Canada's front row doing a good job so far here in the scrum. That's Brendan Blackie, John Shaw, and Matt Tierney, all from Ontario.
Yeah, all products of the outstanding Ontario junior system there. Glenn Tarver and his crew over the years. And it is a sign that, you know, back in my day, Brian, this would have been all mostly BC, a few Ontario kids, and maybe 1 or 2 other players. But it's a credit to the programs going on around the country that there's players from right across the country, coast to coast. And it's good to see it. It makes us better. It makes Canada better.
Definitely. Scrum now for Romania at the halfway point. Dug out there by Croitoro up into the centers, but that ball is bobbled. He almost got around the outside. Would have had a head of steam too, as referee playing advantage now, but not calling the knock on, so I guess it wasn't on advantage. Still Romania ball, penalty awarded to the Oaks. So just penalties have been the story of this first half.
I'm not quite sure what the call is. The Canadians thought they'd stolen it on the side of the ruck here. They come up the side, they put a tackle in, and they got hands on the ball. I don't know why that wasn't allowed. That was Ollie Knott.
Referee Smorchevsky having a talk with the captain of this Canadian side. Originally came to Canada in the 9th grade from Leicester. And Romania electing to go for points here. This is wishful thinking, Gareth, or do you think he has it in him?
The last 2 haven't gone particularly well off his foot, but they've been straight. The first one was a long one. Romanians have a strong tradition of goal kicking. Nikolai Nishitan regularly kicking from this distance and beyond, and of course several players playing in the French professional leagues. But this is a big ask for a 19-year-old, but good on him. He's taking it on, and this would give them the lead. The time you see there is unofficial. Of course, the referee, the sole judge of time in rugby union. But off 3.5 steps, Paxaman's going to give it a go.
Sporting the bright lime green boots, does not have the distance, and running it hard right up the gut. That's a great burst of speed coming from Ollie Knott. And Canada with a little bit of momentum here. Joyce to Detroit, popping it hard to his center on the inside. Romania might have stolen this ball,
definitely
actually.
Stolen it up the side, the scrum half. Criatoro stole that. Not enough support there for the Canadians. And it may have come back. Big pile up. No signal from the ref yet.
So we will have a scrum down and, or no, pardon me. There you have it. It is halftime here at Shawnigan Lake School. So as you can see, just a bit of a dog pile going on. Not the sloppy, or a little bit sloppy of a ruck, and Smarchevsky just blowing it down. So we will have halftime. Gareth, not the ideal first half for new coach Jeff Williams, but a few bright spots.
Yeah, definitely got a run out there. Ollie Knott showing at the end that spark that the Canada needs, showing they can play with this Romanian team, but not really putting it together. And credit those Romanians, solid defense, and really a goal-kicking duel that I'm sure Coach Jeff Williams for Canada will want to change. He'll want this game sped up and opened up and getting some Canadians in midfield.
The score at the end of the first half is 6-all. Rugby Canada. Rugby Canada would also like to recognize.
We will have a 10-minute halftime here, and as we see a few of the highlights, that was the opening moments of the game. Romania almost scored, but the touch judge putting his flag up. Canada found wanting at the back as the kick went through. So dodged a bullet. A couple of good runs from the Canadian backs. Leitner showing he was looking for possession, but didn't get much clean possession in that second half. And as we said, a little bit scrappy, the skills from the Canadians that hopefully will come true. Well, I'm Gareth Reese here, and if you're enjoying this, thank you for tuning in. Let us know what you think. I'm at GReese10 on Twitter, and Rugby Canada _BK if you want to let us know about the broadcast. And as we look at a few of the highlights here, I'm happy to be joined by the general manager of rugby here at Rugby Canada, Mike Chu. Mike, good to have you here.
Hi Gareth, great to be here. Beautiful day here at Shawnigan Lake School.
Yeah, we're just saying not many places in Canada we could be playing this game on natural grass, but the under-20 program here, a quick word on that. They've come together as of Friday. Jeff Williams, new coach in, and some good signs here, although lots they want to sort out.
Yeah, look, it's an exciting program, and the option to play a really tough team like Romania as our build-up to our USA Test matches. This is a terrific opportunity for these young kids to put their hands up for hopefully a series win against USA, which will allow us to go to the Junior World Trophy in Portugal. It's a tough qualification route. They're a good team, but it's a really good opportunity for these young players.
And of course, we mentioned Jeff Williams, but Kenny Goodland also been hired. Great to have Kenny on board from Newfoundland via Victoria and 15s and 7s experience. Great to have his vision in camp and sharing his knowledge with these kids.
Absolutely, and look, it's really exciting from my perspective that we're giving opportunities to some young Canadian coaches who have been developed through the Canadian system, and also they're alum. They know what it's like to pull on the jersey for Canada, and I think that's terrific. And the opportunity for these guys to come and be a part of our Canadian system, it really is great for these young players.
It is, and let's see, another game on Saturday against Romania, and then that 2-match series with the U.S. here on Vancouver Island. Come go to rugbycanada.ca and look for your tickets for that one. Lots of other news, Mike, in your rugby camp, and you've got a women's World Stop and a men's World Stop coming to Canada. Fill us in quickly on the women's tournament, April 18th and 19th at Langford.
Oh, look, how exciting is that this is the first time that we'll have a a women's international sevens event hosted here in Canada. And to have it at our home base in Langford is going to be fantastic for our players. We're tracking third in the world. We've been second at the World Cup in 15, second in the World Cup in sevens, third for the last 2 World Series. So it would be fantastic for our women to get another podium finish at that event. It's the road to Rio, so these events double as a qualification series for Rio. So we'd like to think
anyone who's been asleep for the last little bit, rugby sevens in Rio for 2016, men's and women's. Of course, also both teams playing in the Pan Am Games in Toronto. That's got to be exciting, and to be playing at BMO Field in that festival of sport.
Yeah, look, there's so much great stuff happening this year in Canadian rugby. So we've got the qualification event in Langford, the women's sevens. We've also got Olympic qualifier in June. We've got the Pan Am Games. We've got the World Cup coming up for men's 15s. It's a full season. It's exciting.
Just explain briefly for the sevens fans out there the qualifying process. We know that Brazil has already qualified, the only team to have done so. Explain to us how the rest of the teams will be picked to go to Rio for the men's side.
So for the men's, the top 4 teams in the end of the World Series this year will get automatic entry. Then we will probably not be in the top 4, so we'll need to go through our region, which is NACRA, North America Caribbean Rugby Region. And really, to be honest, our big game will be against USA. Hopefully we'll meet them in the final. A winner goes through directly to the Olympics, and the 2nd and 3rd place teams from that tournament will go to the repechage. So the road to Rio hopefully will start in June of this year, and against USA, we would like to think.
Yeah, fantastic. And of course, the news out this week that in March of 2016, BC Place will host a stop on the World Series. So if you're interested in tickets or registering early for tickets for that, go to canadasevens.com. Mike, I'm going to ask you about last night. We had a great result from Fiji.
Yes.
Big score. Fill us in on what that tournament is and what the 15s team is doing down there.
So our men's A15s team is playing a world tournament in Fiji against some of the A teams from Fiji, Samoa, Tonga, Japan and Argentina. So it's a very tough tournament. It's part of our build-up to the World Cup. We've sent a good team down there, and we had a very good result last night against young Japan, 60-odd points in it.
So talking to Kieran Crowley, excellent performance for us, great confidence booster. Japan were perhaps a bit younger than us, but the other teams we're playing in Samoa and Argentina, very, very strong according to Coach Crowley, and I think the standard will be up for the next couple of games.
It'll be a very tough tournament. Short turnaround between games. It's very hot down there, so our guys coming out of a Canadian winter down to Fiji. But look, it's a terrific tournament for our guys as part of their World Cup build-up. We want guys to be sticking their hand up and saying, I want to go to the World Cup out of this tournament.
And Coach Liam Middleton up here watching some of these under-20 players here today, but he then reassembles his team to go to Hong Kong Sevens and Tokyo, the 2 next stops. Some of those players are going straight from Fiji down there, and that's a big opportunity for them to go into Hong Kong.
Yeah, look, Hong Kong's a pinnacle sevens event. It's one of the favourite tournaments on the series for everyone, both Canadian spectators and our players. And we would hope to do well. We get great support in Hong Kong from the Hong Kong Sevens Foundation. They really get in behind the team. So Hong Kong, Japan are our next 2 stops, and hopefully we pick up some decent points from there and send us up the rankings in the World Series.
Great stuff. I got 2 more for you before I let you go. First one, what we were calling the 4 Nations, we're maybe going to call it the Super Series in Alberta for the women's 15s. Of course, the women's 15s sort of enthralled the whole country last summer with the scenes from France, them advancing to the final. Great tries, great action, great heroes emerging from that. And the next time to see the 15s group is going to be in Alberta.
Look, what a fantastic event. So we've got New Zealand, USA, England, obviously the world champions, and Canada, silver medalists from the World Cup last year. So you have 4 of the top 6 teams in the world coming to Alberta for a women's quad series. That's going to be some terrific rugby. England, obviously the world champions, so we'd like to have another crack at them. The Black Ferns, they missed out through points difference. They've been world champions.
Kiwis don't bear a grudge, do you? No.
And they will be aiming to show the world that they should have done better at the World Cup. And USA, of course, our arch rivals from down south. So what a great tournament that's going to be.
Yeah, it should be intense stuff in Alberta. Keep your eyes open, rugbycanada.ca for that those tournament dates coming out. I know the crew in Alberta keen to organize that. Final thing, Mike, something a little less on the other end of the spectrum for us here at Rugby Canada, a new program called Rookie Rugby, and I know that's been something you put a heck of a lot of work into and it is close to your heart. Explain to us what we're rolling out to, as Rugby Canada's Rookie Rugby program.
Yeah, look, it really has been driven by our rugby development manager, Dustin Hopkins, so he's got to take full credit for that. But Rookie Rugby, it's non-contact rugby, it's flag rugby. We're running some pilots across the country. Huge uptake, very exciting program.
So do you need to have any rugby experience to start a program
No,
or be a teacher?
It's all in the booklet there, it's all on the website, it's self-explanatory. It's a great way to get kids into rugby. It's fantastic.
Right, there you go, Rookie Rugby, keep your eyes on. I've been delighted to be joined by General Manager of Rugby Canada, Mike Chu. Thanks very much for your time, Mike.
Thanks, Gareth.
We'll be back to the action here as we see the teams run out. And I didn't know where to stop there, Brian. There's so much going on with Rugby Canada. We could have kept going for another 3 or 4 events. We didn't even mention the Men's World Cup, which of course is the big tournament this September and October in England, 2015. So huge ticket sales for that tournament and lots of interest.
So much excitement for Rugby Canada. All the media are excited. Fans, everyone's really keen to see Canada take on some of the world's best over in the UK. Of course, our fantastic television sponsor and partners, TSN, will be bringing you all of those games from the World Cup. And we're back underway here. Canada in the black and red strip taking on Romania under 19 here at Shawnigan Lake School. Good stepping from the scrum half for Canada. Joyce, as he breaks back into Romanian u19 territory. This is a great start here from Coach Jeff Williams' side. Looking to cross the line for the first try. Detroit out wide now to Coe. Trying to find the winger on the far side, but that ball goes over the hands of winger Tim Hart. So good pace to start off, but bit of a mishap on the far sideline.
Yeah, Dan Joyce with an excellent break off the kickoff. Off his left foot, then his right foot. And the substitutes on the field, bit of new blood for Canada. Mitchell Rothman had a strong run there, Vancouver Rowing Club player. But the Romanian midfield through that man, Paxman, has been very strong.
Well taken there from the Romanians, working to the middle of the field as they've done all this game so far. Their power runner, their strike runner, Vladut Papa, getting lots of forward ball. Going to the boot, a little grubber kick, noticing the winger is up in defense, so not a bad option. So we will have another Canadian line out, which has been struggling so far this game, just at their own 40-meter line.
Yeah, that will be one of the things Coach Kenny Goodwin will have talked about, maybe simplified things a little bit. And I know Coach Jeff Williams will, we talked about him having worn the jersey in the past, sort of preaching some of that passion. Time to get it right here. This is a test match. But for now, it's Romania, and Coach Stefan Acinte has got a strong message on, and they've started well in the second half.
Another missed line out for Canada. This is a little bit concerning. Ball spun out wide here by Croitoro, right into the middle. Good fake, deceptive lines of running and a burst of speed here. Going to the boot, that was Melente from the fly half position. And a kick forward there, but the referee's going to blow it back and award a penalty to Romania.
Well, he's saying there's a tackle without the arms. I don't know. It looked awkward. It came up around the neck, but he assessed it and then said no penalty. There's the man around. Melente looping. He's looked dangerous in the first half. He tries to nudge it through. It gets blocked. I don't know why that is in any way a penalty. It's a touch judge who flags it. She's talking on the mic, and that's a concern. Sherry Trumbull over there, as it looked to me as though Smortevsky waved it off. He saw exactly what happened. So it will, regardless, be an opportunity for Romania.
And Paxman, who's been deadly with the boot so far, has another opportunity, the first opportunity to put his team ahead with a penalty. Chip shot once again. I'm not sure if it has the distance. Now Brumble has to be quick. Canada pinned deep in their own half here. This is a bit dangerous for this Canadian side. They need to get this ball to ground and recycle it. And you know they're going to go to a kick to relieve a bit of pressure. Canada with a pick and go. Good, strong run here. This is fantastic stuff there from Wadden as a player in support. No, pardon me. That is Luke Bradley. That's a fantastic play there from the number 8 for Canada with the tape around his head. Dutoit going himself, offloading to Santilli, trying to keep it in. Canada seems like they're getting good go-forward ball when they're playing basic rugby, but that's flashy stuff as the ball goes out of bounds here.
Yeah, Luke Bradley, look at the black sheep here. The man from Port Alberni, pumping the legs, driving, and then smashes the defender with a big open hand right on the scrum half and keeps going right over the top of him. That's the Canadian rugby. That's what Canada need, a bit of passion.
Well taken ball there off the line out. Getting past one tackler there is the scrum half, Croy Toro. Pick and go coming from the big man, Adrian Motok. Numbers on the blind side here. If they can use it, they have nobody back in the sweeper position and trying to get around the outside, but a good wrap tackle coming from Paul Cellini. Dangerously close to this touchline, and the ball pops out from the back of the ruck, so we'll have a Canadian line out.
And the problem with Canada's turnover there with that loose pass we saw from Santilli, that allows Romania to put pressure on, to suck the life out of them here. This is the end of the play, but before that, they're driving with them all. They're forcing Canada to defend. And if Canada gives up possession that easily, they're going to have a very long day here. And fortunately for Canada, that one slides out the side. And one more injury, one more slowdown for the Romanians.
So a couple of players down here for the Oaks.
There's Kenny Goodland bringing on a message as well as some water. And for those people that don't know Romanian rugby, you know, there's a full professional setup. There's 7 professional teams in Romania, all getting between 2,500 and 3,000 euros, which is not a great deal, but when rent is 200 or 300 euros, it's a pretty good living. So there's over 200 professional players as well as a handful playing in France. Clubs like Steaua Bucharest now and Dinamo, very, very strong professional outfits with full facilities and lots of academies. So lots of rugby. Good steal at the front by Canada. Got a hand to it. And the referee's going to say that that ball went forward off the leg. And the substitute, Callie Martinez from the Dogs in St. John's. Another famous prop from the Dogs, Mr. Rod Snow. That one was a penalty. Oh, sorry, I may have my numbers wrong. Yes, Justin Aylward.
So another opportunity. Yeah, we'll get it sorted momentarily, folks. So another opportunity here for Paximan to go for the boot and take a slim lead here against this Canadian under-20 side. So the story of this game so far is too many penalties for Canada, not being able to string phases together. As I said earlier, this is a difficult kick here for the outside center. Does not have the correct aim on this one, and Brumble is just going to go to the boot. Interesting option just to go to the ground like that. That's a bit of a risky play. The Romanian players running into each other. Referee says play on, no obstruction.
Well, Owen Brumble absolutely mindless in defense there for the second missed kick in a row. Didn't know what he wanted to do with it. He ran out of the dead ball area, then grubbered it into nobody. And that's totally unacceptable at this level. That's just poor, poor play. He needs to be picked up by his teammates.
So we will have a scrum just outside the 22. Canada needing a bit of life here, needing some energy. We saw a great burst of speed there from the, as you said, the u20 Vikes player, the Port Alberni native, Luke Bradley, getting about a 35-meter powerful run. And that's the stuff that really builds momentum and gets your players excited and gets a bit of go-forward ball here. But in Canada, too many knock-ons and too many penalties, giving Paximan shots at goal. Fortunately, he has missed 2 early on in this game.
And this Canadian backline, as they line out off your shot here off to the right, as good as they look in attack, dangerous, their basics have not been good. Their kicking game, their positional game, and these offloads that don't go to hand are really not allowing Canada to build any momentum. Let's see if they can keep it together here.
Santilli out to Coe. He has a man with him. Needs to use it. Good show and go. Can't get around, and he finally does. Karsten Leitner dancing close to this near touchline. Romania causing lots of problems in the counter ruck. Taken well.
Better shape from Canada.
Definitely better stuff here. Colborne taking it up. Romania coming in from the side. Good tap and go there from Dan Joyce. Got a player in support. That's Ollie Knott. This is great stuff from the Canadians, led by their captain, Knott. Inside the Romanian half now, high pass coming. Taken well there by a substitute, Mitchell Rothman, the Vancouver, BC product. Now Joyce to Detroit. Up there is Colborne. This is better phases here. Up into contact is Blakey. They have numbers on this right side. They need to use it through the hands. Spun out. Santilli, good hands, good Santilli. Going forward, cuts back inside. Finally gets brought down just inside the 22. Attacking position here for the Canadians. Running it up there is Dylan Goose, London, Ontario product. Options on the blind side. Given straight into contact, but maintaining possession. Need to get this ball to ground, though. About 8 or 10 meters out.
Far and away Canada's best period of play. They're bringing intensity. They're bringing pace to it. Can they get the last 10 meters?
Up into contact. The captain taken forward there.
Callie, that was Martinez.
This is good stuff from the Canadians. Good driving forward. I believe that's Dylan Goose. Up now is Blakey.
5 meters out. Patient build up here.
Fans here at Shawnigan. Oh, and Brumble just knocks that one on. Heartbreaker for Canada. They marched all the way down the field, and that's just not what you want to see.
Well, this is good work from the forwards. Substitute there, Dylan Goose driving hard and disciplined play. They didn't rush it. They were trying the short side. A late tackle on the fly half there. But Canada did well to keep this phase together. They're, as I said, far and away their best passage. Coach Jeff Williams will be happy with that. And they really upped the tempo, which I think is the key to them stealing this victory here. A few Romanian players lying on the ground. But an excellent breakout from Canada right from their own end. It was a beautifully floated ball from Giuseppe Dutoit. He saw that the inside pressure was on, and he put the fullback into space. Kelly Martinez had immediate impact there in number 19. Of course, he's from the Thunderbirds in Vancouver, not from the Dogs. I'll leave that for Justin Aylward.
So Canada still with good position here, but they see if they can steal the head on this scrum. Only one player back for Canada. You'll notice that's the fullback. Both wingers up in the play here. Bit of an interesting choice with Romania so deep in their own half.
And again, those under 19 scrum laws, that will be reset as the scrum went down. And Romania looking to bring some fresh legs on here.
Just a reminder to everyone watching that Saturday's game goes at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time. That is 9:30 Eastern time at Westhill Stadium in the Canadian Rugby Center of Excellence. Second game of this two-game series against Romania U19. And all eyes will be on the two-game series against USA U20 in the aggregate qualifier for the World Trophy. That's on the 23rd and 27th.
Big push from Canada there at the scrum, and they've got the number 8 in possession again.
Pinned deep in their own half. This is an opportunity here for Canada, but the ball bounces into touch, so we'll now have another line out. Canada hasn't seen much success lately, but they need to start winning these if they want to have some success in the second half.
Well, the last 5 minutes, you can't blame the Canadians on their effort. Good stuff. Andrew Coe was trying to chase and block that kick, couldn't quite get it, but good work from the pack there. Drive Romania off the ball. There's the line out, another overthrow gathered by Gigarisin, and the wise boot in the midfield of Paxman sticks it well deep. Once again, I'm not quite sure what Bromble is thinking back there. He played the ball. Whether it was already out or not, I'm not sure. I know there's been some positional changes.
So sorry to cut you off there, Gareth, but the referee has said that this ball will go to Romania. So sloppy play here from the Canadians.
Yeah, that was the overthrow, the line out. And the kick goes through from the outside center. To give Bromble some credit, he's normally a 9, so he is filling in at fullback because there's been a few injuries. We saw Gill running water on and a few others. So they're the Canadian side down to 1 back substitute. So Bromble stepping up in the fullback position, normally a scrum half.
And you're exactly right, Gareth. Matt Murphy, Lucas Rumble, Theo Souter, Emil Sahik, Connor Young, Harjan Gill, and Dylan Horgan, all unavailable to be playing in this game. So lots of other players for Canada as a good running coming in there from Martinez. Canada with possession on the far side of the field. About 12 or so minutes gone in the second half. Canada need to recycle this ball, and looks to have been won by Romania. So too many turnovers here.
It's a fine balance between intensity and rushed forced passes. That's part of maturing at this level. There was the driving play. We'd already had a knock on before that. And the Romanians applauding. So I think you have to give credit to this young Romanian side. They've defended well. They've bent a few times but not broken. And so far they've kicked their goals in a better percentage than Canada. So they're very much in this. Another good shove from Canada.
So the scrum is wheeled by Canada, but based on the scrum laws for the under-19, it'll be once again another Romanian ball.
Scrum put in by Creatore. He's impressed. He's been very busy at the base of the scrum, the Romanian scrum half.
Up into the centers here, taking it himself. That's the fly half. Melente. Good wrap-up tackle there from Dutoit. Romania with numbers on the blind side. Canada resets, but another penalty not rolling away against the Canadians. So this is well inside the range of Paxaman.
Yeah, that was incredibly harsh. There's nothing he could do. As you see, 10 black there. He's going down Dutoit. He's making the tackle, and then the Romanians jump on him. There's absolutely no way he can roll out of there. There's nothing he can do, and the referee's penalized him. I don't know how that's possible, what he could do more. But there we go. It's been deemed a penalty, and it's a kickable penalty for Romania.
Bit concerning here for the Canadians, not being able to get out of their own half. This is looking a little similar to the last 2 times Canada's senior men's team has played against Romania, having lost both of those games off the boot of Florin Vlăcău, kicking all of their points the last 2 November tours. Bit concerning for this young Canadian side following suit. Lots of support from coast to coast here. Seeing lots of people cheering on their friends and family. Lots of people from the east. Dr. John Gillis cheering on Tri-Time Timmy. I see everyone supporting this young side. As that one goes off the bar, just barely having enough. And Romania taking a lead here, 9-6. So Canada with some work to do here in the second half.
Romania 9, Canada 6.
Probably fair result. The Romanians hanging in there, as we've said, kicking their goals. Frustrating the Canadians a little bit, although we have seen some sparks in the second half. Can the big pack get rumbling and get their hands on the ball and keep it?
Dutoit electing to kick deep, going off the hands of one of the Romanian players. Referee says play on, just inside their own 22. So he can hit touch with this, and he does. That's a good kick coming from the Romanian fly half.
Now, Brian, that's a big concern for me. The captain is down there 10 meters ahead of the rest of his pack. That's all he not. That's a high-hanging kick. We've just been scored on. Canada's just been scored on, and there's no intensity to get up there and make a play. There's one player doing it. That's got to change if Canada's going to get on the right side of the USA come their qualifier.
Good line-out win. Toss coming in from Mitchell Rothman from the Vancouver Rowing Club. Good ball on the outside here. Canada with an opportunity. Here comes Tim Hart trying to get around the outside, breaking through one defender, and finally gets brought down. Canada on the attack here, looking for points. That was Joyce passing to one of his forwards. Numbers on the blind side. Joyce. Ball going to ground. Picked up clean there on the far side.
Hart did well to get that one, to clean it up.
Tim Hart plays for Brock University. Canada trying to maintain possession here. Joyce can't quite get any forward ball. Now Rothman taking it up. Romanians slowing this ball down as they do quite consistently. Callie Martinez for Canada.
This suits Canada. They're starting to bounce off a few tackles. That's good work from the captain again, Ollie Knott. Look at him still going, still pumping those legs.
Needs support from his players though. Dutoit into the hands. Canada, oh, and it's bobbled. It's passed right into the hands of one of the Romanian players. So that was a good set of phases, but just ball going out of hands. And a great counter ruck from Martinez.
Oh, good
pressure.
pressure.
Is blocked. What a great block. Taking it right in the gut there is Andrew Coe. That is just fearless stuff from the outside center.
Well, that's international rugby. That's the commitment you want to see. Off his line, puts his body on the line, and does the job for the team. Great stuff from Andrew Crow. You're not going to win test matches unless you see guys putting their hand up and making a difference.
Markham, Ontario native. Andrew Coe played in the America's Rugby Championship last year.
This was the midfield attack. There was a half break. And the pass, Joyce chooses to go to the top of the screen. Martinez does hard. He works, again, pumping those legs. Good stuff from him, rolling forward, not held. And as the ball comes back the other way, I'm sorry, we got one more up top. There's Knott again. Look at those leg drives. Still going, and takes all those Romanian defenders out of the play. So when the ball does come wide, there's holes in the defense. There it was, good hands. And as you look to offload here, the big lock, Kozma did well to get in the way. And that one hurt, but test rugby hurts, Brian.
So a penalty awarded to Romania. Offside is the call. Or no, it's pardon me, it's a 22 dropout. Romania leading 9-6 here. Getting under this ball is Dutoit. Hard up into contact.
Yes.
The guy who blocked the kick, making a great play again. That's Coe, hard on the attack, just inside the 22. Fantastic stuff there from Coe.
Needs to offload, need to keep that ball alive. Canada's dying with it, that's better. Keep asking questions of the Romanians.
Karsten Leitner, hard leg drive. Penalty awarded to Canada here.
And the Romanians just flopping on top of the tackle, man. I think the referee's going to have to go to his pocket here. And he has done. We'll have our first yellow card of the day. Canada's gone for a quick tap, but the referee stopped time here. And the Romanian player just flopping and preventing Canada from presenting that ball. You see, that was the initial break from Coe. He really needs to keep that ball alive rather than die with it. But as they go wide here, good simple hands. Watch the Romanian player on Leitner. He just flops straight on top of him, doesn't allow him to present the ball, and that's a penalty. And that's one too many penalties for the referee. So Romania will be one man short for the next 10 minutes. The sin bin, as it's called in rugby. So with the under 17 rules, I think that was a back that was sent off, and it was. So the Romanians have brought out a forward to cover in the backs.
Good attacking position here for Canada, put in by Joyce. Picked up by the number 8. Good hard run coming in from Luke Bradley.
The ball went backwards as it was lost. Fortunate for Canada.
Good hands out to Dylan Goose.
Oh, the pick and go! Right through the middle, Joyce!
Try time for Canada. Nope. And the referee has got his hands up, and we have our first try. That's fantastic stuff there for Dan Joyce, the scrum half, seeing a gap just inside the ruck here, and try time.
Well, he's been busy all day, Joyce, but the forwards do the hard work. Goose gets a slower ball here as Martinez is looking to do his damage. As it goes out, it looks like Goose may be tied up. He gets pushed to the side, and as he goes down, watch number 9, Black. He sees the ball pop thus there. No defense right through the middle. Great stuff from him, and the dive to cap it off. Finally, a breakthrough for Canada. Dutoit able to add the easy 2 points in front. So all that energy, that halftime team talk from Williams is bearing fruit. Canada upping the tempo, and they still have another 7 minutes with the Romanian in the sin bin.
By number 9, Dan Joyce, converted by number 10, Giuseppe Dubois. Score now, Canada 13, Romania 9.
So crucial next couple of minutes here for the Romanians.
So this is great stuff from the Canadians, being able to put some phases together, showing a little bit of flash and flair, keeping the ball alive with some offloads. This is good stuff. We've seen some insurgence of pace with some of the spares coming on the field now for Canada. Show and go here, and a great break there. That is Alex Colborne off the restart. Needs to recycle this ball, though. Joyce, the try scorer, out to Detroit, behind. Good run coming in from Rothman. Has support. Popping up in the contact there is Cellini. Romania on their heels.
This is much better from Canada. They're asking questions all over the park.
Beautiful break there from Andrew Coe. He's got 3 players out in support. They need to win this ball quickly. Recycling. Santilli offloads to Martinez. Martinez has player in support. The ball is knocked forward, but we have an advantage to Canada.
Much better. Again, the Romanians infringing after the break. And again, Andrew Coe. That was good work and great support by Cellini, getting all the way out there. Good quick ball. See those Romanians sneaking up offside, but it does go wide. And look at this change of angle. But don't argue from Coe. He's got lots of men there. He's got to try and pull out and keep that ball alive rather than, as he takes the tackle here, allowing the Romanians to reset in defense. But it will be a penalty against Romania, and I think Canada's going to signal they choose a scrum, and they have. So smart rugby from them. With one Romanian in the sin bin, they will have an advantage in the backfield. Good captaincy by Ollie Knott, the u20 product. So Dutoit just off to the right of your shot, calling the shots. There he is. He knows what he wants. He's got his backs lined up, and he's looking at one less yellow jersey than he'd normally see.
Been really impressed so far today with Luke Bradley, the number 8. He's also one of the players that went to Romania in 2013 with the under-18 side. Lots of power from the number 8 position, and a couple of really good line breaks so far. I wonder if he's going to pick and go on this right-hand side, knowing that the Romanians are down 1 player in the back line.
Yeah, he shouldn't pick and go because it's the backs where the space, exactly. And they've got the ball out wide.
Good pace coming from Karsten Leitner. They have numbers on both sides. Canada need to recycle this ball quickly. Joyce finding his forwards on this side. And a pass on the outside, but it's bobbled by Canada. But a penalty awarded to the Canadians.
Referee is going off to his pocket again. There's another offside at the breakdown. And it is this big second row. Popa, who's going to go to the sin bin as they come back blind here. You watch as the big second row's miles offside. Didn't actually do anything, but the referee's taken exception, and I think he sent him to the sin bin. So 13 Romanians against 15 Canadians. Canada 10 meters out. Driving the forwards, looking to pick and go. Surely they need to spread the ball.
Playing with a 2-man advantage here. Canada will want to keep the ball alive as long as possible. A penalty against Canada.
Canada driving into their own men and then held onto the ball on the ground. So a little bit tactically naive, keeping it that tight. You see the driving play. And as he goes to ground, he doesn't release as the Romanian has rights, and Romania will kick to touch.
So oddly enough, the 2 yellow cards coming from gentlemen with the same last name, Papa, the inside center, and the number 4. No relation, actually.
And if you want to see slow walking, watch this Romanian pack. Make no particular attempt to get lined up. Canada set and ready. Watch, 1, 2, 3. The referee should be encouraging them to get there, as this is all time coming off the sin bin. And they do arrive with a 4-man line out. Referee wants them set in the lineout, not moving into the lineout. Both players going up early, and well knocked back by Canada. Huge advantage here. Oh, missed pass, unnecessary, but quick hands.
Santilli now with ball in hand, gets around 1 player, trying to get past another. Inside, just about the 22 now. Joyce Finding the forwards, but the ball is knocked on there by Blakey. So Canada trying to play with some pace, but just too many errors.
Well, great vision from Joyce there. He's actually picked out the unmarked man, but perhaps a little bit further ahead than his forwards were thinking because they weren't ready for it. Joyce has really impressed me, Brian, from the base of the scrum. He's a live wire, he's busy, and he's always looking for opportunities. So scrum down Romania again, taking their time. Still 2 Papas in the sin bin. 13 Romanians on attack.
Canada will look to try and poach this ball, but a penalty.
Silly stuff from Joyce. It'll allow Romania to slow it down, kick the touch, take another minute and a half off the clock, when really all they were going to do was kick anyways and give up possession. And Joyce, maybe the accolades came out a bit too early for Joyce there. He made a silly play there.
So about 15, 16 minutes remaining in this contest. Canada holding on to a 13-9 lead. Some points off the boot of Detroit and a try coming from the scrum half, Dan Joyce. All of Romania's points coming from their outside center, Raul Paxman, as you can see on the screen there, the man with the neon green boots, standing midfield with the black scrum cap. They're, as you said, Gareth, no rush to take this line out. And they win it clean on the far side of the field, just trying to slow this ball down because they have 2 players in the sin bin, one in the forwards, one in the backs. Just nearing the halfway point of the field, now driving over. This is good leg drive from Romania. Canada trying to poach this ball.
It looked like the Canadian prop Blakey had rights, but it wasn't given, so Romania's still in possession.
Hard tackle coming from Canada midfield, swallowing this ball, not allowing it to go to ground quickly. They have 2 players on this blind side, cutting back in. Good step there from Yonat Balaban as he drives forward into Canadian territory. Andrew Coe trying to steal that ball. Up into contact there is George Tataras.
Much better line speed from Canada, getting off in defense quickly.
Paxman going to the boot. Waiting underneath it there is Tim Hart, chipping over the top. Interesting choice, and it lands right in the hands of their number 2, Kozhikado.
And another Romanian down out of your shot, so they're really, oh, there's the ball almost picked off by Detroit. So all sorts of problems for Romania at the moment. Players down.
Canada need to get some more points here to push away from this 4-point advantage.
There's the contact. I think there's an injury after this one. Canadian bodies trying to get out of there. Need to get out of there a bit quicker. And as they go blind, the floated pass, Giuseppe Detroit deemed to be onside, but he just couldn't hang on to the pass. Good work from our crew there getting that one, and one of 2 Romanians receiving treatment. Therapist doesn't know quite where to go.
So the referee will stop this one. There's 2 players in the bin for Romania and 2 on the ground. I don't think he's going to allow that one to play 15 on 11.
And that is the hooker, Cochocado. He's been busy today, and good sportsmanship there from Detroit. He's going to have to leave the field, I think, the hooker. And you see the referee looking to the near sideline for a cramp for, I think that's big Yonat Balaban.
Rugby Canada would like to thank their title sponsor for the March Under-20 series here on Vancouver Island. That's Shawnigan Lake School, as mentioned earlier, fantastic partner of Canadian Rugby, supporting all of our national age grade and development teams, right up to the men's and women's 7s and 15s programs as well.
And of course, we're here in the Derek Hidlay Pavilion, overlooking the #1 pitch here. A great family history. I think he'd love to have seen this kind of international rivalry going on, and young players like this having an opportunity to play international rugby. He was a big force in these parts.
So you will notice in this scrum, Canada does not have an 8-man, because in u19 rules, if one player is yellow carded and you have to match in the scrum. So that's why you have the number 6 for Canada. That's Alex Colborne standing in the back line.
So Romania, I think, back to 14 men. Indeed they are, and we have substitute Adrian Negoita on the field. Nice little feed there, but the referee wisely letting it go so we can get the game going.
High kick. Not too much distance on it. Trying to get under it is Coe. Knocked back by Santilli. Here goes Joyce. He's got a bit of speed. Pops on the inside. That's taken well there by Colborne. And now Ollie Knott with a good burst of speed, keeping the ball alive. This is fantastic stuff from Canada. They're going to want to recycle this ball. At least one man up. And a penalty awarded to Romania, not releasing in the tackle. So frustrating stuff for Canada.
Well, look at this offloading. Good hands. Finally, the ball gathered. Who is it again? Joyce, straight through the middle, but doesn't die with it. He keeps the play alive, keeps his feet, as does flanker Colborne, who's been excellent on the ball today. And the penalty here is for not releasing. So he's isolated. He rolls over, and the support is far too slow to arrive, and the cleanout isn't really effective enough. Penalty to Romania. But good play from Canada. Well done. Good interlinking between the halfbacks and that back row there. Alex Colborne, another man from Bristol originally, has really impressed on the ball. So strong and very busy out there.
Still plenty of time available on the clock. 12 minutes remaining or so. And we'll have a Romanian line out on the far side of the field, right at the midway point, or just over.
Canada with the only try of the match so far through Dan Joyce, an opportunistic try.
This is one clean by Romania, taking it right into the maul. Trying to work this ball up the field slowly and surely, like they're famous for doing.
Penalty against Canada. He's going to his pocket. Look at the referee here. He's going to stop time. And he is going to deal Paul Cellini a yellow card. So he will have a 10-minute rest. And this is a huge opportunity for Canada. Sorry, for Romania. I guess he's deemed that Cellini was, although he was on his feet, the ruck had been formed and he doesn't have rights to put his hands in there. Again, probably foolish play from Canada. They just need to concede that ball. They haven't had a great deal of trouble defending the Romanian attack, so they have to be confident, letting them have the ball and then smashing them in defense. So Romania back to 14 men at the moment. Their line out. Another overthrow, but gathered well by the prop Luungi. And Canada have stolen, and they could, there was great vision there from Tony Pomeroy, but he didn't let the ball go. There was a 4-on-3 to where he initially looked, to the bottom of your screen.
Great kick coming from, that was Tony Pomeroy, and this ball is taken well there by Canada. They have numbers on this side if they can use it. Now Brumble with a head of speed. Tossed out. Leitner tries to get around his man. Finally taken to ground. This is good stuff here for Canada. Pomeroy on the field. Little show and go, trying to get through the gap just to side the ruck. Forwards, picking, driving. Trying to get some forward ball here. Taken well there by Bradley. Romanian player just sitting right on top of the ball. Pomeroy to Dutoit. Martinez, he's isolated though, he has no support with him. Dutoit has to join in on that ruck to win it. Taking it up there is Colborne. Once again, needs some support. Nobody with him. And playing it off their feet, so Canada getting lucky on that one, and a penalty awarded to the Canadians.
You're right, Brian. Several of the Canadians got isolated, but they did do well to keep possession. They did back up their teammates. This goes one out, and watch Dutoit. He gives the pass and then immediately realizes there's no one there to help. He's got to get in and clean the ruck, and he does just enough on Cali Martinez. A few Canadians walking there, and that'll be something to be addressed. One of the great things about these games, Brian, is the coaches and the players have a video to watch, have something to analyze, and get some very specific feedback on. But the penalty will give Detroit the chance to make this lead a 7-point lead. This one straight in front.
Big test here for the young fly half. As you said earlier, Gareth, from Maple Ridge, British Columbia.
Good strike. He popped it. I think it looks good. And it is. You could tell the sound of that ball, Brian, like a great drive off the golf tee. The thing went a mile. Well done, Giuseppe Detroit. That's a 7-point lead as the subs are coming on, streaming on for Romania. I think there's 5 new players.
So we have less than 10 minutes to go here. Canada U20 with a 7-point lead over Romania U19 here as Detroit adds another 3 off the boot. So about 8 or so minutes left on the clock. Canada will need to stay calm because one converted try will level the score, and Canada will want to march this ball right back down the field. Well taken by Dylan Goose, but bobbled off the back. Referee says play on. Good run here coming from Bradley. He's got a player on the inside, and Bradley will go himself. He's got backs in support, and they need to use this. Colborne finally getting brought down. Here goes Joyce. Runs into one of his own men. Referee says play on, about 8 meters out. Canada screaming for the ball, trying to get it out left here. They have numbers.
Oh, referee.
Penalty. Going himself. That's Bradley. Nowhere near 10.
Well done, Goose.
Canada need to get it wide. Yes, try time for Canada. That's Karsten Leitner with the advantage on a quick tap. And Canada scoring in the corner here. That's a fantastic team try.
Great recognition. They'd done the work. The incursion had come right through the middle. And credit the big man. It was Goose in the end who got the offload along with Bradley, recognizing there was lots of space. This was the blindside move. And credit Tony Pomeroy, the bayman from Conception Bay South, parts Kieran Hearn. He saw that the space was there, and the big man, Luke Bradley, driving the legs. But none of these players dying with it. Colburn, as he's been in all day, in a fantastic support position, as has Joyce, who unfortunately ran into his captain. But the quick production here was excellent. And even though a penalty was awarded, the players keeping their heads. You see number 20, Goose, there. He knew the advantage was on. The quick tap came. The thing was to get it out wide, and he turns and moves it, and that makes the try. That pass right there, excellent work from Dylan Goose. Simple running in the end for Karsten Leitner. Fabian will be happy in Vancouver.
Pick a man of the match. I'd say it's Canada number 8. Yeah, that's fine.
Scored the try, right? But I agree with you. So excellent response from Canada.
Canada try by number 14, Karsten Leitner.
Really encouraging to see that level of confidence and awareness from the players. Finally starting to get the ball on the field to where the space is, and it started all the way back. Substitute scrum half Tony Pomeroy.
Well taken again there. That's Dylan Goose being lifted by 2 of his forwards. But a penalty awarded to Romania. I believe that was driving from the side, or I don't know what that was called, actually.
Maybe the ball was caught. There was a man in front of him. A bit pedantic at this stage, I think. There's a clean take. The ball is set up. And I guess there's a man in front separated from the maul. That can have all I could imagine. There we go. Romania have a chance inside the 22. Haven't been down here for some time. 21 points for Canada, 9 for Romania. Just a few minutes remaining. Romanian lineout has been relatively inconsistent. A couple of overthrows, but this time they go to the front to big number 5, Alexandru Kozma. They're trying to get the drive going, but it goes down. Substitute fly half in the game.
That's Mihai Melnikov on in the fly half position. Romania inside Canada's 22 now, trailing 21-9. And a good drive coming here from the Oaks. At the scrum half position is Sebastian Agape. Fierce tackling from the Canadians.
They'll want to see pressure defense from the Canadians. Really disciplined at this stage. And there it is. That's the reward.
Ball is knocked on. Penalty awarded to Canada. They'll just elect to slow this ball down, elect to hit touch, and wear off another minute or so from the time.
Here it was. Romania going up the left side. Good defense, but not really pressure defense. And in the end, Romania as they regroup, bobble this ball forward, and then the player in front of him plays it, so that's actually a penalty, taking the advantage away. Dutoit has missed touch here, so his team's going to have to defend.
Bit of a sloppy kick there from Canada, nearing the just inside Canadian territory. They're held up in the tackle, trying to keep it on their feet for as long as possible, but the ball is going forward for Romania as it finally gets to ground.
Excellent work from the Romanian forwards. Whistle's gone. The referee couldn't see the ball. Oh, and he's giving it to Canada. That'll be frustrating for the Romanians. As I say, they formed up well. The scrum half calling extra troops in to get the thing moving. They arrive, it goes down.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Our time is a little bit off, and the referee blows down. Final score here, 21-9. Canada under 20 victorious over Romania U19 here in the first game of a 2-game series.
You've got to credit the young Romanian side. They hung at it. But this Canadian team showed their passion. It took a while to get going, but they showed some good movements and got an important win out of the bag. Full credit's got to go to the whole back row. Alex Colburn, so wise around the park. The captain, Ollie Knott, really in the first half was the only one bringing anything to the game. And Luke Bradley was immense at number 8. But for me, the man of the match, the man who finally got over the line and he showed great vision all day long from Trinity University in Dublin, Dan Joyce, the scrum half. Congratulations, Dan Joyce, the Shawnigan Lake School man of the match. Good to see both teams shaking hands. I guess they know they've got to face each other again on Saturday. I think a good start for both teams. I know the Romanian coaches, what we could see, were fairly encouraged by the effort of their players. Some mistakes, I know, and maybe not the rub of the green with the refereeing with those 2 sin bins. And Canada at least showed a bit more heart in that second half and a bit more intensity. So doesn't always come easily.
So Gareth, a win is a win, and that's exactly what we have here today. Good intensity from the second half, almost a tale of 2 different halves. A bit of a sloppy play, too many penalties in the first frame. What does Canada need to work on to be successful on Saturday down at West Hill Stadium?
Yeah, well, I think some of the backs who have obviously been very potent attacking individuals learned some things in defense, and definitely in their offloading play were far too casual for this level of rugby. I think up front there was a solid effort from the pack. As we said, the whole back row putting their hand up. We saw Tierney with a couple of big plays, both the second rows doing well. So there were some good things. The lineup will need some work for Canada, and they'll just take this time to come together as a team. It's fairly rushed, only assembling on Friday. And you hear the announcement now from the stadium as the Canadian team warms down there. As the Phil Jarvis, one of our supporters here at Shawnigan Lake School, at the bottom of your screen there. Phil Jarvis, who's planning a 100th anniversary for this school next year. And there's a great moment. Getting the game ball is the scrum half, Dan Joyce, with an outstanding performance and the first try of the match for Canada.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Canada U20 victorious 21-9 over this Romania U19 side. This is the first game of a 4-game March series for Canada's men's under-20 team. Saturday goes 6:30 p.m. at West Hill Stadium in the Canadian Rugby Centre of Excellence. That one, of course, will be streamed live at www.rugbycanada.tv. Want to thank our title sponsor, Shawnigan Lake, for their support here today. We'll have a full recap on rugbycanada.ca from later today, as well as make sure to follow Rugby Canada on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube for full video, photos, and everything else from today's match here from Shawnigan Lake School. My name is Brian Kelly. Thanking Gareth Reese for taking part with me today.
Howdy.
Fantastic day of rugby. Have a great night, and we'll see you on Saturday in Langford, British Columbia. Thank you.